So, new Nintendo Direct info just dropped. Not just dropped, it dropped this morning, but point still stands. Sorry, my hair is wet. I just showered, and I like letting it dry naturally because it gets really poofy if I blow dry it. Hey everyone. So, I'm a person who really likes to buy into the Nintendo Direct hype. I really like the hype surrounding Nintendo Directs. I'm the person who, when I was 14, could literally not sleep out of excitement the day before Nintendo Direct. This one is really interesting. The reason this Nintendo Direct is so weird is it might be the most mysterious Nintendo Direct of all time. Like, in terms of Nintendo info, sorry, I have to switch arms again. I'm just going to hold it with my right. In terms of Nintendo info we have right now, we know Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is coming out soon. And we know there's a Pokemon Legends game in development. And that's pretty much it. That's the only info we have in regards to Nintendo right now. And the fact that they specifically said this Direct will not be focused at all on the Switch 2 or the Switch successor. Which is fine, but it's also weird because last year it felt like in the holiday season they were really pushing the last sort of big hype wave for the Switch. So I personally, I never bought into, the Switch successor hype because it's always been, rumor after rumor after rumor for the last few years. I never bought into it until I realized, oh, they have 2 remakes announced and a Peach game for next year, and that's it. They have nothing beyond summer. So I totally bought into the fact that the Switch 2 would be a this holiday release. I'm no longer of that belief. I think it'll still be soon-ish, Q1 2025. But the fact that this Direct is 40 minutes, focused entirely on Switch titles, and we only know of 2 mainline Nintendo games that are coming to the Switch, it's really interesting and really offers some more speculation as to what could actually be releasing on the Switch at the end of this year. I think it's going to be really easy for the hype on this one to be overblown because of that, so I'm really quelling my urge to get super hyped over it because I don't want to be disappointed. But at the same time, I certainly have my hopes and what I believe could be announced, but it's all baseless is the thing. There are leakers here and there, and there are some credible ones, like people who leaked Super Mario Wonder, for example, which pretty much dropped out of nowhere. However, most of the so-called leaks are just people throwing crap at the wall and hoping some of it sticks. They're like, I got a 60% credibility rate, so you can believe me. When it's like, no, I'm pretty sure you just guessed and happened to get 60% of your guesses right. With this one, though, it seems that it's pretty much all a mystery what could be announced at this Direct. Other than probably an Among Us trailer, since the Among Us trailer, I don't know exactly what the thing was with that, but it got dropped early and somehow revealed that something was going to be happening tomorrow. I don't know what the deal was with that, but Among Us accidentally leaked the Nintendo Direct, which is kind of funny. So we know we're getting an Among Us trailer. But other than that, I'm hoping that they don't talk about Dark Moon too much because it really seems like pretty much a port, that they aren't really adding much to it. I mean, we'll see, but I'm not buying it. I don't know about any of you, but I have no desire to get Dark Moon just on my Switch. I have it on the 3DS. I bought it for $20, and I don't want to spend 60 more to just have it upgraded on my other system. I strongly disagree with that sort of thing, as I've probably been very outward spoken about. But with this Direct, I have some random hopes. First, the low-key stuff. DLC. I've been saying this for a while. I said this in my Pikmin 4 review. I don't necessarily think this is going to happen. None of this I really think is going to happen. It's just some stuff to throw out there. Some stuff to throw at the wall, if you will. But Pikmin 4, I hope it gets a DLC. One of my big complaints with that game is that the challenge almost gets there, but even in the side content, none of it's ever really that hard. And I'm a person who likes difficulty in my Pikmin games. That's why Pikmin 2 is my favorite, and Pikmin 4 doesn't quite reach that, because I just prefer the difficulty level of Pikmin 2. And it just felt like there wasn't that much extra content in Pikmin 4. Like, they kept adding more mission mode stages in Pikmin 3, and I would say Pikmin 3 has the strongest challenge mode in the series, so it felt a little sad to see that depart in Pikmin 4. I'm really hoping they add some extra stages. I don't really remember what those stages were called. The Danduri stuff. Like, adding extra Danduri battles, Danduri challenges. I think that'd be pretty cool. I really hope that they do something with that instead of just leaving it as is. I would buy DLC for Pikmin 4. The other thing that's weird is Breath of the Wild DLC came out pretty quickly after Breath of the Wild was released. And as far as I've been paying attention, I don't think Tears of the Kingdom has had anything yet. So that's really surprising to me, and I feel like they could release DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. The other really, like, small one that I seriously doubt they're going to do, but they have done this before, Mario Party Superstars. People have been asking for new boards on that forever, since it came out, pretty much. Like, people are saying they will buy new boards for Mario Party Superstars. That's one that I think is low-key, like, less possible, because it's been so long since that game came out. But it's not impossible, because they added that weird online update to Super Mario Party way after it came out, and they all of a sudden decided to do DLC for Mario Kart 8 all these years later. So it's not impossible, but it's very low on my expectation list. Something that's been rumored for a while is a couple Fire Emblem remakes. I'm really hoping for these, because Genealogy of the Holy War is a game that's never been officially brought to America. It's never been translated to English officially. There have been fan translations, but that's it. That's been rumored for a while that they're going to remake that on Switch. I really hope they do. I think it'd be hype. The other one is a combo pack of Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. Those games are out, but they are some of the most difficult to find games out there. Like, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but the GameCube game sells for upwards to like $300, $400 on eBay, and the Wii one sells for like $100, $150. So it'd be really nice to get those remade for game preservation type stuff. I also have heard those are pretty good games too, so it'd be cool to get them brought into the modern light and have some quality of life changes. Because that's the only complaint I've really heard about those games, is that they could use quality of life changes. Speaking of remakes, another one that's been rumored for a while is a Chrono Trigger Pixel remaster, in the same way that they did Live Alive and Star Ocean Second Story R. That would be really hype, especially for me. You can probably understand why. That's one that's been rumored for a bit, but never officially confirmed. Talking about more mainline Nintendo stuff, Metroid Prime 4, I suppose it's possible we get something on it. But I say that every direct. It's possible they finally say something about Metroid Prime 4, since it's been since the Switch came out that they've been saying it's in development. So it'd be kind of cool to hear something about Metroid Prime 4. And I suppose it's not totally out of the question, since it's very clearly getting to the end of the Switch's lifespan. Zelda stuff. The Zelda team, like I was talking about DLC, the Zelda team has to be working on something. Whether it's DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, or the remakes that people want to see are Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I really think those are too soon, because you can pretty easily find them on eBay. Like, yeah, you have to pay full price for them, but it's not like you're, like, from what I've seen, it's not like you're spending outrageous amounts of money on them right now, like the Fire Emblem games, or the original Twilight Princess, or the original Wind Waker. Like, I don't think they're upwards to, like, $100, maybe $60, but that's how much I paid for it when it came out, so it's like, it's not that big of a deal. The harder part is getting your hands on a Wii U, but really, again, it's not like the Wii U's have skyrocketed in price or anything. So I'm not a person who really hopes for those games to be brought to Switch, and it's not because I don't like them. They're probably my top favorite Zelda games of all time. Twilight Princess for sure is my favorite. Wind Waker might be right behind it. I just don't think it's necessary for them to be brought to the Switch right now. What I would like to see in terms of Zelda is a new 2D entry. As I've gotten older, I've actually grown to appreciate the 2D Zeldas more than the 3D ones. For remakes, I wouldn't mind Link Between Worlds or Minish Cap, because those two are ones that I think are really underappreciated and could be brought to a wider audience if it got put on the Switch. With extra features and everything too, that would be super nice. Or, alternatively, a completely new 2D Zelda would be super nice too, since the last time we got one was the Link's Awakening remake, and the last official, like, new 2D Zelda game was A Link Between Worlds in, like, 2013. It's been a crazy long amount of time since we've had a new 2D Zelda, so that would be super nice. Another one that I'm hoping for that would kind of bring the Switch, like, full circle for me, like, have all of the IPs I could ever want. I always say the Switch is the most versatile system. It just has so much variety on it. But it's missing a new Donkey Kong Country entry. Sure, it has all of the old ones except Returns, but the last time we've gotten a new Donkey Kong Country game was Tropical Freeze on the Wii U in 2014. We could really use a new one 10 years later. I would really appreciate a new Donkey Kong Country game. Although Retro Studios is probably hard at work getting the before mentioned Metroid Prime 4 ready for launch. So, again, like I said, all of these aren't necessarily things I expect, because I feel like there's almost no, like, there's nothing to base predictions off of for this Direct, unless you look at the leaks, which I don't like doing. Like, Nintendo hasn't hinted at anything that's coming out other than the two games that I mentioned before, and somewhat Metroid Prime 4. Oh, I didn't mention the other one, Pokemon Legends. I'm guessing this is one thing that I do predict will happen. I think there will be a small Pokemon segment to update us on the trading card game that's coming to the mobile app, which I'm looking forward to that almost more than the Legends game. But then there's also the Legends game, which we've gotten no, like, actual gameplay footage from, that I really do expect them to showcase something from it. Since that game, I can't remember what the release date is, if it's January or February, but it's about a half a year out, so you would expect at least a little bit of gameplay showcased. Other than that, I feel like I had a couple others, but I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's, like, everything I could hope for. Again, in terms of, like, remakes, people also ask for Xenoblade Chronicles X to be put on the Switch. Speaking of Xenoblade, though, the ending of the 3 DLC tied into Xenogears and Xenosaga, it would be super cool to see them brought on the Switch, because those are another, like, in terms of remakes, I really appreciate when they either bring games that are not localized yet, or other 3, or games that are not easily available. Like, I could not easily go out and purchase the Xenosaga games because they are very, very expensive and also just hard to find in general, too. That would be a remake that I would support, like the Xenosaga trilogy on the Switch. But really, I think that's pretty much it that I can think of right now off the top of my head. My hopes, not necessarily expectations, because I'm going into this one expecting nothing. If you have expectations or you strongly disagree with some of mine, feel free to argue in the comments with me relentlessly. I don't feel terribly strongly about any of these opinions because, again, we know nothing. But, yeah, catch up with me in the comments. I'll talk to you all later. Peace out. I probably, will not post a reaction to this one because I'm going to be at my girlfriend's house in the morning and I think I'm just going to watch it with her. But I might make a video after I watch it to talk about what I thought about it. But, see you then. Peace out.